here, and today we are going to be talking about something that's going to be helpful for homeschoolers and for if you're just home with your kids ever. And that is something called strewing. I hate that term actually. I wish it wasn't called strewing, but apparently it's called strewing, and I've been doing it for a long time without really knowing that it had a name. I was just like, well, I'm just putting stuff out for my kids to discover and play with, and it seems to interest them. Now I'm strewing. 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 Strewing is basically putting stuff out so your kids can discover it. It really fosters creativity and discovery and just diving into something on kind of your own rules and your own terms. Strewing is you just put stuff out. You just put it out. You've heard of like toy rotation. Strewing is kind of like toy rotation. It is, in fact, in many ways, toy rotation. It's taking something off the shelf and like, oh, look, Tinker Toys. We haven't seen those forever. Really? Because they've been right in front of your face. But when you put Tinker Toys, if I took these Tinker Toys and I took them upstairs to my boys' bedroom and put them in the middle of the floor, they'd be like, Tinker Toys! And they would find a new and different way of engaging with them. Number one, because they haven't seen them in a while. Number two, because they're in a different place than where they usually are. So if you take something that kids are used to playing with in one space and you move it into another space, it makes it very new to them, right? And already their mind is like, oh, why is this here? This is so rarely here, or never here, or I never thought of that. And because you've moved it already, their mind is engaged, their interest is sparked, they've discovered something, and now they get to choose how to engage with it. It's because you've put this here, now there might be other things around it that will then spark creative play or creative involvement beyond where they are used to having it. So before, they have this here, and they usually play with it in this way. But then they go here, and then suddenly like, oh, well, we can use the couch pillows to do this, or we can use the bedspread to help with this, because now we have this here too. What's great about strewing, whenever it connects with your kids, is that it will engage them for a long time. Like long. Like mama drinking coffee by herself while the kids are playing in the other room. Strewing. You can find specific areas of discovery that you know your kids are going to find or stumble across. So in our house, we have a couple discovery zones. Our coffee table in the living room. My kids would be walking through and then suddenly discover this on the table, and they would be like, melting beads, and they would just start doing it. Now that's true. Most of the time they will be like, yes, melting beads, awesome. Sometimes I put things out on the table and my kids discover it and they're like, melting beads, cool. And they don't engage in it. And that's fine too. You can strew all kinds of things. So you can strew art supplies, puzzles, workbooks or coloring books, toys, STEM materials, books. There are all kinds of things that you can put out that if your kids just find it in a unique, interesting way, that they are very likely to engage in it and give you some time to drink your coffee. You're welcome. Here's an example of one of the things I have strewn during this summer season. I really don't like strewing. I think it's a weird word, strew. Anyway, it's a word. Put stuff out. One of the things that I've put out this summer, and we're not having really any sort of formal educating kind of stuff right now as homeschoolers this summer, but we've been doing a lot of planting, and so we've done like planting of a lot of vegetables and seeds and plants. We've been watching birds, so a lot of nature kind of studies. This is an example of what I've strewn kind of like in our little book nook area. My kids will kind of discover like new books over there And so this is an example of, these are some of the books we've strewn. And if you look at them, you can see that they have kind of similar titles or themes. A lot of times I'll put these things out like before I go to bed at night. So when my kids wake up, and sometimes they wake up before me, they come down and they find something and they start engaging in something. I feel a little bit like the Strewing Fairy. I'm a little Strewing Fairy. Strewing Fairy. Strewing Fairy. Strewing Fairy. Strewing Fairy. Have fun strewing. Strewing. Strew. All right. Happy strewing. Happy strewing from the Strew Fairy. Bye, Mama Bear. Love those cups.